official tonight is Jose Antonio de Conceição. Well, Coach, Big Yannick in the house, your former player. No doubt he'd love to see his team win the championship. But let's take a look at the starting lineups. We will begin with Bali. Oh, it's interesting. This team.
Now you are live.
Bringing big Balo in and out
Aja
of
tak
the
boleh.
line. It makes you think with the big lineup that Angola.
Kita mau lihat dulu kan.
Can they yeah, we will. So, Balo, Sadio Diarra, Ibrahima Faye will make it the front court while Mamman Koulibaly, who was the best player in the semifinals in my mind, will share the backcourt with point guard Siramak Kanute.
Well, as you said, Angola, no secret on how they play. They want to crash the offensive rebounds, play 2, sometimes 3 bigs at a time. But they're also going to be pressuring and trapping. So you're going to need ball handlers as well. Can't just be Kanute there, have to handle all this pressure by himself.
Well, for Angola, we'll see how Pep Barros changes things up. So Brasmachi will be in the lineup along with Wilson Valente. Not much of a change there, but we'll see Bruno Fernando and Juan Francisco and Shilney Dindol. So slightly smaller due to the absence, unfortunately, to Joseph Bangu, who picked up that horrific injury.
Well, this is how they started their last game as well.
Fintas defensivas desde el lado débil, sprint cuando hay un pick and roll. Shot, tu es fort, les gars. Défense sur tout le monde. Va les tirs à 3 points, les gars. Allez-y vite dans le contre-attaque. Si ce n'est pas ça, on joue la deuxième. Les 5 qui commencent. Maman Koulibaly, Chérim, Aliou Diarra, Balo et Sima. Allez. Allez.
Well, we just saw before, hearing from the coaches, our official sponsor, the Tissot Countdown to Tip-Off, is already underway.
That's it.
A big thank you to Tissot for a magnificent partnership and collaboration with FIBA for well over a decade. The history will be made tonight in one way or another. Mali, it's the first time they have indeed made it to the finals of the FIBA AFROBASKET. In over 60 years since going to their first AFROBASKET in the 60s. Well, Pep Barros, what a history. The last time Angola won the AFROBASKET was in 2013.
The second hand
years since the Angolans, the winners in history, have won an AFROBASKET championship. And coach, if they win tonight,
it's not good. Check hand before.
Well, that last championship, they were also the hosts of that tournament, and you can see how this crowd can feed this team. Their style of play with this team, up and down, lots of ball pressure. They're going to trap, try to force turnovers, get out and run. If you're Mali, you just have to be disciplined, not let this crowd get you out of sorts. And for Kanute, you got to expect he's going to have to play a lot of minutes here handling this pressure.
Well, it's going to be Balo jumping with Bruno Fernando. Welcome, everybody. The 2025 FIBA AFROBASKET final. Already good down. Finally, Juan Francisco as they get the first 2 points. Shirley Vidal, the Mighty Mouse, doing what he does best, facilitating. You have to remember, Mali, a very young team. Wow, that's a bump. Really close up, you can't get it. Angola looking to push the tempo. Oh, good dump goes for another 3 inside. Just got finished. Go in. Finding Valente uncontested from the mid-range on the baseline. That goes out of bounds. Mali will get it back.
Well, interesting on that first set, they had Koulibaly as the primary defender, or sorry, primary ball handler. We see the beautiful wraparound pass there from Shilda. Shilda also such a dangerous defender. We've seen teams struggle when they just left their point guards one-on-one versus him.
Well, this is a very interesting matchup. Because Kanute possesses the lightning speed of Shilda Vidal. Diarra wants to attack. Kick out to Koulibaly. Offense. 3 off the time. Now here comes the Mighty Mouse. Good goal. Again, strict. Good defense by Kanute. Oh,
That's one
that's
second.
out of bounds. So Mali should get it back.
No, just
Good call there from the official. See, Francisco's out of bounds as he go, but the intensity of this game, this is what we should expect here. Up and down pace, lots of pressure. Should be a fun one.
Well, Toy just doing his work. Infamous ISIS legend, isn't he, Toy?
Toy is a legend. See him entertaining early in this game.
Ali's still looking for their first field goal. Kanute. Find Diarra. She's just trying to stack strong. Diarra elevates. Now we'll just calm down as the Mali advantage. You can see them getting into it.
A really nice post move there from Diarra. One thing we haven't seen in this tournament are teams looking to post up. Shoulder done now. Maybe something Kanute could look to do. He's been playing off the ball a fair amount here early in this game.
Well, Mali let that one go out of bounds. Here's the turnaround jump hook coming from Ali Diarra. The frustrating thing, coach, for Mali, they could have come out with possession.
Well, every rebound's going to be a battle. You see all these big bodies. Angola's just going to rotate bodies in. They want to crash on every shot.
Fernando trying to bubble follow. I thought missing for point-blank range. Now Kanute wants to run. Kanute. This time, Angola have doubles. Good goal. Finds Francisco. See what you see this. Going in again and rejected. Great work by Diarra. And again, just like he did in the semifinals, coach, Francisco getting the opening 2 field goals.
Well, it is absolute war in the paint. That's how Angola wants it. They send bodies inside, sacrifice spacing for offensive rebound opportunities.
Great anticipation. When the body comes up with it. Now they have numbers. Diarra connecting early.
Great pass there. We've seen so many lobs thrown by Kanute in this tournament, and the pace and intensity of this game, exactly what you thought it would be.
Well, Francisco's leading the way here for Angola. She wants a foul to go to the free throw line. The foul may be called. Yeah, it's on Ibrahima Haidara. Transition. There's a block by Diarra. Because what's interesting about Eduardo Francisco, coach, he hasn't played really too much in the group stage, but it was in the semifinals where he made that surprise start here for Angola.
Coach Claros likes to get his bench guys starting opportunities. And so we've seen it with Valente and Makachi. They'll start the halves and then sit the remainder of the game. So I think it's a great way to keep his players involved. He's going to use all 12 guys on his roster and just try to wear you down over the course of the game.
Eduardo Francisco playing in Portugal for SL Benfica. This will go back for a 4th consecutive season as well in the Basketball Champions League. Kanute just too casual. There's a fake. Nice block by Diarra. Or by Haidara, excuse me.
Well, Kanute's got to be much stronger with the ball than that. Like you say, he's trying to nutmeg the defender. You got to understand how good these Angolan on-ball defenders are.
Dundal just patiently trying to wait for a ball screen. Now getting it from Fernando. There's a baseline pay, but as it goes in, throws it down. Plus Makachi, excuse me.
Well, not a good closeout there. You got to let Makachi shoot that. If there's one weakness for this Angolan team, a lot of contact there, but they roll out so many big players, not a lot of perimeter shooting. Saw Diarra a little too aggressive there on his closeout.
Well, Dundal getting in the face of Francisco because they were quick to get the ball inbound. And he really wanted to play at a fast tempo, but it's the final. You've got to be on the same page as Mighty Mouse. Angola just struggling to get the ball inbound. Well, we saw this atmosphere on the opening game for Angola in the AFROBASKET, where it was a very big victory against Libya. But, Coach, every time they come back, it just gets louder and louder.
Well, you knew that this crowd was going to be here in full effect, and you can hear them cheering their team on right now. And so much of this crowd energy feeds into the way they play.
Angola lead by 3. The down. Nice pass. Francisco goes in with a two-handed rim rocker.
Beautiful pass there for Dundao, and almost coming up with a turnover here. Got Molly in between a switch there. Interesting to see Madera trying to get back, but every team is elected to either go under or switch. We haven't seen a lot of teams try to trap Dundao in the ball screen. He's so quick, but at his size, maybe difficult to pass out of those traps.
5-point lead currently to Angola. Balo trying to force his way in. Now finish. Comes over the offensive rebound. But a big time block by Bruno. Isera for 3. The atmosphere just getting louder and louder on every stop. It'll get even louder if they score here. Oh, that time unable to finish. And now Diarra wants to run. Just throws it away. Well, good call, bumps. That's going to be 2 free throws coming up for Angola.
You can see Balo's frustration. That's what we saw in the quarterfinals. All the contact created by Gilda, just kind of throwing his body into Balo there. 23 free throw attempts in that quarterfinals, many of them coming from plays like that. So it'd be really important to watch how these officials officiate this game.
Already Mali have 3 blocks. Gaku comes in, the man who made the 1 free throw against Cameroon that sent them to the finals. And just listen to this crowd.
Gotta wonder too how long Mamadou Diarra will stay on the bench. He's really been on fire for them the last 2 games. Obviously, it's been a struggle for them offensively here early on. Maybe look to him to come into this game, knock down a couple big threes.
Well, 0 for 2 from the free throw line. Mali's got to be able to handle the pressure. You see getting that hand up. Boy, trying to go behind the back. Coach, that was an interesting one.
I think he got lucky there. I mean, one thing Canuti's got to learn, some of these cute passes we've seen him attempt, it's just not going to work against this physical team from Angola. You're going to have to be strong with every possession.
This attempt by Dundao. Mali come over the rebound. Just haven't been able to get the 3-point shot going like they really been a key on their offense. Will go to the free throw line.
Well, much better there. Strong take. Got Valente there on his back. You see him drawing contact.
I'm surprised that he pulled the travel there.
I think he did let go of the ball right at the last minute, but got to understand when you drive into the paint against this team, they are going to collapse quickly.
Just missing the first free throw. It's not often when we see him starting this primary point guard role. He ends up having 10 assists before he has 10 points, but you've got to make the free throws count. This is the final. Mali's first ever time playing in a FIBA AFROBASKET final. Buketi subbing into the game, as well as Celta Miguel. coming off one screen. Finds Fernando wide open, but Fernando actually easily been 2 points for Angola. Basketebol change of pace. No foul given. Turnover.
Looked like that might have been deflected there. But on the other end, Mali looking to trap that pick and roll, but no help on the backside. Fernando wide open. Just couldn't handle the pass.
Well, Canute's going to go to the bench. Jogo is the lineup. He's got to be reliable here. Trying to be aggressive with Bukeni. They'll recover. Sosa just not able to cement position, but Coach, that's a tough pass coming for Gaku because you can see the Mali defenders crashing the pace.
Just off-target pass there, and you can see now against Bukeni, their game plan is to trap him in these pick and rolls.
Mali finding Haidara. Left wide open, that's way too short. Just going to get into a bit of rhythm. Obviously, this is new for them here at the AFROBASKET. They haven't played in this kind of atmosphere, at this kind of defense from Angola.
Well, Angola struggles to score, especially from the perimeter. So as long as you're not turning the ball over, you can stay tight in this game. You see nothing going Mali's way, but only down 2. Struggles for Angola also.
Yell trying to find separation. Gaku comes up. Now puts it back up by 4. Jara didn't rotate in time.
You see Koulibaly again. Primary ball handler here. Big responsibility for the young 24-year-old.
Aliou Diarra insinuating that last play by Gaku, there should have been a kickball violation. So change coming in for Mali. Drame will sub in. There's a foul by Sylvie de Souza. Oh yeah, the ball just touched the foot.
And the official missed that one.
High screen coming. Aliou Diarra, final seconds. Has to pull up for a tough one. Only Drame contested for the offensive board. Aliou Diarra's got to get back. The foul is going to be pulled against Aliou Diarra.
See there, I think could have had it on either player. Diarra battling in the post. Togo there, a little bit of a hand check.
You can see as well, things a little bit physical between Bukeni and Drame. Drame trying to keep up with Bukeni. There's a pump fake. Still time though for Angola. Miguel goes for a tough step back. That goes out of bounds. Mali will get it back.
Well, you can see Mali's game plan here. They're really trying to pressure Bukeni when he comes into the game. You know, not a natural point guard. You've seen them trap and pick up and pressure there. Different approach with Shilda.
Gotta get the ball. 8-second violation, surely. Yeah. Coach Dicko may want to think about bringing Canute back in the lineup because Coach Togo's got to make a better effort and go into the ball.
Well, it needs an awareness too. We know that they're going to be looking to trap there. You know, we've said this in their previous games. I've been surprised that teams haven't flashed their bigs, kind of left it up to their guards to handle the ball pressure and trapping.
Drame again, trying to keep Bukeni in front of him. Bukeni finds it open, goes for a reverse layup. Mali is able to survive. This time the foul's going to be called against Gaku. That's going to be the 3rd team foul against Angola. Both teams only 1 foul to give here in the first.
Well, lucky there, dangerous outlet pass, and you gotta know Angola defenders are going to be lurking on all these outlet passes. They pick up full court after makes or misses. Nothing's going to be easy here for Mali.
Jogo attacks. Finds Diarra. Step back 3. Finally getting the first 3 points from downtown.
You can see the confidence. We saw it from him the previous 2 games. Tough step back there, and that's the lift you need from Mali.
Well, definitely in the getting it in the second half. Diarra his 4 crucial 3-pointers. Gaku just maybe getting away with an elbow. Angola still lead by 1. Oh, he can shoot it. High arc. Now Mali looking to take the lead. Mali just trying to find a way around, but wow, that's a poor offense. Now Miguel. Foul's going to be called. It's a blocking foul. So 2 free throws going in for Celta Miguel.
Jogo feels like he pushed off with the left arm there. Definitely a lot of contact. Let's see if he extended the arm up or not.
Well, the fans definitely loving the occasion. Celta Miguel will go to the free throw line here for Angola. Have a look here. There's a turnover. Now watch Jogo. Oh, maybe, yeah. You see with the left arm, coach.
Yeah, it definitely looked like Miguel might have got away with that one.
It's interesting here at the AFROBASKET because he's at times very much been an off guard. But we saw him last summer at the FIBA OQT in Valencia, especially in the game against Spain. He was the primary ball handler for them at times.
They really don't have a natural backup point guard. Both Miguel and McKinney combo guards. I think Coach Pablo's thinking when both are on the floor at the same time, they can kind of relieve some of the pressure they might otherwise face.
Diarra just getting caught feeling up in the air. Maybe have got away with the carry. The shot clock didn't start, so they need to go to the table to find out how much time should be left. Imagine there's a lot of time here, coach.
You can see, looks like 4 seconds, so you got to be ready to execute a side out of bounds play here. See the nice step back. Diarra might look to get him a touch here.
Shot clock says 8 seconds, so I wonder if they, yeah, 4.7. Not a lot of time here for Mali. Sandrame is going to inbound this one. 46.6 left to go here in the first quarter. Mali do get a bucket here. Could have a potential 2 for 1. Hajidiko right now his team only down by 3 points. So we get a knock to the ground. Kulabali's got to go quick. Has to put up a prayer in the half court. And again, coach, you said it. Clock awareness not quite there.
Well, there's the youth there. You had a lot of time to talk over what you wanted to do. You needed to have an awareness of where the shot clock was there. And now if you're Angola, you're looking for 2 for 1 here. You need to be disciplined if you're Mali. No fouls to give.
Kenny just trying to battle here with Sandrame. He's got to be careful. Man, just an unnecessary foul because, as you said, no fouls to give. It's going to be 2 free throws coming up here for Luke Kenny.
It's just a lack of discipline. He's got a little bit of the ball, but you can see him grabbing the waist there. And just got to know in that moment, fouling 29.6. The last thing you want to do, potentially giving them a 2-for-1. And I like the sub here, bringing Canuti back on the floor. Expect to see probably middle pick and roll here between him and Diarra, but first have to get it across half court. Angola's going to extend their pressure, see if they can force a turnover.
Well, Kenny currently at the free throw line. Other plays had his inconsistencies from the charity strike. Second one good. 2-possession lead currently to the 11-time champions. Coach, last time Angola played in the FIBA AFROBASKET Championship was in 2015, and you were head coach of Nigeria. And although you broke the hearts of all these fans, you then quickly joined Angola right afterwards.
Well, it's funny how things work out in life sometimes, but yeah, we were fortunate to beat them in that final and defeat the defending champs there with a team from Nigeria, and then had the honor of coaching their national team to the World Cup.
Canuti gets a 3-out. Unable to finish. Killer throws it out of bounds. Mali will get it back with 3 seconds. Down by 4.
Gaku there, just trying to keep that ball in bounds. He's actually done well. Safer to throw it to the corner than underneath your basket. If you're Mali, you gotta have better clock awareness here.
Well, gotta get open. Finding Diarra. Diarra goes from the AFROBASKET logo. And that is the end of the first quarter here in the 2025 FIBA AFROBASKET Championship game. Angola lead by 4 against Mali. Show the live streams and extended highlights of FIBA competitions. While the FIBA America has started, you can also get ready for the FIBA EuroBasket. Courtside 1891, downloaded today. Ibrahima Hedera back in the lineup here for Mali. They will get first possession. Sylvie DeSouza still here in the lineup, as well as Shildy Dindol back on the bench. So Matt Clara is keeping the same 5 on the floor here for Angola. One exception of João Fernandes. Canuti will fire a 3. Was that a... Well, like Fernandes on last touch.
Well, I think definitely that was. Coach Dicko having a conversation over in the end, so I don't think he's seen it, but looks like that was off of Fernandes.
No complaints from Mali. Angola get it back. Trying to match up. Well, Kenny goes in. Silvio, second time lucky now. He's had his struggles, but he's got to build his confidence.
See De Sosa there sealing off the help defender. That's something that Angola looks to do a lot. They put multiple bigs in the paint. Try to seal you anytime they can.
Balo trying to back down against De Sosa. Struggling in the paint. Now here comes Angola. All he can, he finds a bit of time and space. Amadou Diarra, oh no, wait. Not sure what happened here, but Diarra saved it going out of bounds, but for some reason, no foul has been called, but it will be possession back to Mali. That's the repeat. Well, we went out of bounds right there. Mali again, going to that triple handoff. Fernandez, hands all over Amadou Diarra. And the foul is eventually given.
The physicality. You see a lot of contact up top. Surprised there's no call there. Eventually you see it. That's really Angola's strategy. They're gonna hit, push, pull all game long and just sort of assume that the refs can't possibly call it every time. So they try to wear you down with that physical pressure.
He's setting that back screen. Dara has a mismatch, but Miguel coming to trap, forcing another turnover. This time the foul is going to be called against Canute. That's only going to be his first personal foul here in the first half. But the officials decide to go to the monitor to review this.
I think he's clearly making a play on the ball. Be much to talk about there.
Well, no upgrade, no review.
See the turnovers starting to add up. 9 already here in this game. Just got to figure out a way to handle this pressure. We've seen every team in this tournament struggle.
Fernandez not going to take the three-pointer. Now Miguel gets to the bucket, goes in. Yeah, where Mali is struggling here, coach. And this is down to the fight, the tenacity of this Angolan team. Because usually Mali has a good job of keeping teams off of offensive boards, but you can see tonight, it's a new test for them.
Well, Angola with 3 bigs on the floor right now. That's how they typically play. They rely on offensive rebounds, points off of turnovers. They just keep big bodies in the paint at all times.
The foul has been given against Mali. It's on Balo. So again, Angola will get it underneath the basket. Watch Balo. Tough one.
That is a tough one. There's so much banging going on in the paint. The referees, it's going to be a hard time just deciphering what you're going to allow and not allow.
Another foul caught on the ground. Coach, I don't understand why Sissoko is running out to Fernandez like he's Reggie Miller.
Well, you're absolutely right. Poor closeout there from Sissoko. You just got to stay compact. And, it's challenging. They'll put 2 bigs in the paint. Always looking to duck in, seal off your help. So your perimeter defenders have got to be disciplined. It's hard for the bigs sometimes to rotate, stop the ball.
Fernandez is not a three-point shooter, so if anything, you might be able to live with him taking that shot.
Well, absolutely. It's a mistake there from Sissoko.
Still Mali, you have Aliou Diarra back on the bench. At some point he's going to come back in. Now if you're Angola, it's a turnover. So you want to get Canute to pick up that second foul.
Again, one thing we have not seen any team in this tournament do is post up Shilda. Might be a way for Mali to find a little offensive rhythm. It's such a struggle on the perimeter. You see every one of these catches, defender right up in there.
Timeline is out. Bottom. Let's go for a tough fadeaway. Jarrett coming up with the offensive board. That's what he does best. That's going to be another foul on him, and that was clear as daylight.
One of the things you gotta watch for, Angola gets so close to you with their defensive pressure. Sometimes you wonder if they're inside the cylinder. The offensive players allowed movement, natural movement inside the cylinder. Maybe a little extended there, but this Angola defense really difficult to officiate. It's just so physical with everything that they do.
Angola can extend their lead. 3 minutes played here in the second quarter. South of Miguel. Trying to take on Haidara. Paulo has to come out and recover. Good goal. Has to put up a tough one. He is open. Mighty Mouse. Good hit block. Haidara out of control. Haidara's argued that it was a push in the back, but he thinks this should be upgraded.
See Schilder just throwing up a prayer there late in the clock. It's a beautiful pass. Great awareness there to see Haidara.
Coach, what did you think about that last play? Because you can clearly see there was a hand in the back from Celta Miguel against Ibrahima Haidara, but do you think that justifies the Basquet going for a review?
I didn't see anything. It's hard to tell from that angle, but nothing that put Haidara in danger, nothing that seemed unsportsmanlike.
Unfortunately for Mali, he does miss the first free throw. Because Ibrahima Haidara, the last time Mali and Angola met was in the 2013 FIBA AFROBASKET. He's the only player tonight that played in that game. These two countries, they've met 4 times. And that was the last meeting. They've never met since then. So the first time they played in 12 years. Mali will be 4 out of 17. Angola, 6 out of 25. They all leading by 8. He doesn't want to pick up that second foul. Tough one, Valente. Does well to keep it bound. Now Dindel, down the middle. Goes in for a floater. Mighty Mouse one more time.
He's so quick with the ball. He's got to be disciplined with your closeouts there. This is a dangerous time in this game. If you're Mali.
Unsportsmanlike foul's going to be pulled down. I think it's on Drame. The timeout is going to be pulled by Mali. Down by 10. Mighty Mouse. Right now, they might be building a statue of him here in the city of Luanda if they're to win their 12th championship. Well, we're going to go down to the benches to find out what the coaches have to say. Second quarter here of the 2025 FIBA AFROBASKET final.
Les gars, moi j'ai confiance. Moi j'ai espoir. Nous devons y aller. Voilà le moment là. Ça va toujours dans les mental. On a des 4 fautes, mais on continue à jouer les gars. On continue à jouer comme ça. On ne lâche pas. Il n'y a pas de ciment au boulonnet. Que ce soit les garçons dans la tête. Je n'ai aucun ciment aussi. Continuez à jouer comme ça. Les gars, battez-vous au rebond. Ça va aller. Il faut vous attendre.
Well, incredible atmosphere here tonight for the final. And you just saw the QR code from courtside 1891 during that timeout. Next time you see it, scan it, download it, so you can get all the best live streams and extended highlights of FIBA competitions. Courtside 1891. Download it today. comes Shilde Dindal time. Facilitating, scoring, even playing some very good defense at times, Coach.
Well, we've seen it all from him in this tournament. The tough three banks in, follows it up with the floater. If you're Molly, dangerous moment in this game right now. You just have not been able to find any offense whatsoever. Only 1 point here, first 4 minutes of this quarter. Just gotta wonder where they're gonna go to find something in the half court.
11-point lead. Just a long play. They can't afford to get into foul trouble. Is Canute. Fernando finds a kick out. Time winding down. Shilde puts up a prayer. It's going to be a 24-second violation.
These high arcing shots, you just hold your breath when you see it. Of course, we saw the huge three he hit late in that game last night.
Tiara getting ready to sub back in.
1 million.
Soka will go to the bench. And coach, even on that last play, he's probably one of the best point guards here in the AFROBASKET. He's going to get some help to get it in bounds.
See, they go to Koulibaly again as the primary. I think this is a chance where you could post the Dow up with Canute.
It's another turnover. Once it comes up, here we go. Throws it down. And the arena right now rocking here in Luanda. Molly just can't take care of the last one. And jump ball's going to be given. And that's going back to Angola.
See the pressure here. Beautiful steal. You just have a defender up in you on every catch. If you're Molly, you just gotta find one player comfortable enough to immediately rip and go. I think the bigs, Diarra, really both the Diarras potentially could be flashers. These pressure release players take some this heat off the guards and Molly.
Here comes Canute. Finds Koulibaly. Gets closed out. That's not going to go. Goes out of bounds. Oh, yep. It's going to go back to Angola.
Molly, too. Maybe consider going to a zone here. Just something to change the pace of the game. All the momentum in Angola's favor right now. See, they've elected to extend their pressure. Sometimes it can be dangerous. Shoulders so quick with the ball.
Dindal again. He's made one three, another one. Great job by Diarra preventing the putback. Now Canute goes himself. But only Balo following up. And look at the speed of Shilde Dindal. Throws it up. It's intercepted by Diarra. And a chance again. Molly, breakaway. But those cute passes, coach. But Diarra goes in. Almost turning it over.
Absolutely. Canute really lucky there. Sloppy pass. The young players just kind of feel this moment right now. You know you have to be strong with the ball.
That becomes the second field goal for Molly in transition. Canute, nice timing. Great work by Cermak Canute. The plays, those are the plays, I should say, that they depend on him defensively. Right here. He's lucky. Diarra was running in transition as a trailer.
Balo just barely able to get his fingertips on that. If you're Molly, you actually have to feel fortunate. Only 13 points scored here, yet you're only down 11. So you'll find a couple of quality possessions. But you see how tight these defenders get on the catch. I think the answer is just to clear aside, rip and go. See if the officials start calling some of these hand checks, but it's going to be really tough to enter your offense with any kind of side-to-side action.
That field goal from Diarra, it's their first one of the second quarter. So it's been a very tough quarter for them indeed. Angola have one foul to give. Mali finds a gap. Bottom. Trying to dribble, but he almost turned it over. Gotta be better here. Diarra, too many dribbles. And Goodell wants to run. And then you can see the follow-up by Kokila. There's a foul. This will do Diarra's confidence a lot of good.
Well, it's interesting. You saw the flop warning. You saw in that quarterfinal game, even Almeida ejected from that game on a flop. And that's the thing about Schilde. He's so small and he goes in there at such high speeds, but often he's throwing his body around trying to get the officials to give him fouls. So interesting to see what happens moving forward. The warning being given to them down here.
Johnson cut it down to a 10-point deficit. Diarra makes the free throw. 3:33 to go here in the second quarter. Goodell would love to get that second foul ball against Canute. Toga, the backup guy, he also has 2 fouls for Mali, so Frankfurt needs to be disciplined. Fernando, offense goes in. Way too easy by Bruno.
You see there, trying to trap them down. He does a nice job getting off the ball, finds Bruno Fernando in that short roll, and now really doing it all.
But that now becomes the 9th turnover here for Mali. Fernando goes in. Big forward. That's on the set by Bruno Fernando. Coach, that is a delay for sure.
Definitely there was body contact. Looked like Canute caught underneath there. See there, that's where the flop warning was given to Schilde. But beautiful job there, able to pass out of these traps. And you can see Mali trying to extend their defense. Perhaps the adjustment being to just pack it in. Dare Angola to shoot from the perimeter, see if that can lead to some transition opportunities.
On va continuer à jouer comme dans les gars. Mais une fois chez nous, on transforme ça en zone 1-2-2. 1-2-2. Voilà. Je ne vais pas faire ça ici parce qu'ils vont voir ça. Ok? Donc on commence par défendre ici, main to main. Mais dès qu'ils transportent ici, embarquez 1-2-2. Hein? 1-2-2. Match up. Tous ceux qui sont à l'extérieur, ils changent avec, ils continuent avec les gars. Ici, vous montez avec vos gars.
Well, Coach, 2 points of area that are a concern for Mali. Number one, they're only 1 out of 10 from the perimeter. And as we said, they are a confidence, volume, 3-point shooting team. The other concern, which I think is far greater, they already have committed 15 turnovers.
Well, it's the turnovers and the offensive rebounds. 10 offensive rebounds for Angola already, and this is how they play. Their points are going to come from second chance opportunities, and if you're Mali, you just got to be more disciplined. Really have found nothing offensively. We've seen in the past them go through Balo on the low block. We've seen Koulibaly heat up from the perimeter. Both of those players struggling so far here in the first half.
1 out of 2 for Bruno Fernando. Angola makes all the free throws. It's a 20-point ball game. Koulibaly gets up off the dribble. Nice offensive rebound. Draws another foul against Bruno. It's going to be a second personal foul.
Nice pump fake there from Diarra. See Koulibaly unable to find his rhythm, and that's what this ball pressure does. It just speeds you up. Gets you playing out of the tempo you're not necessarily comfortable with.
Well, Fernando's going to go to the bench. Sylvia De Souza checking back in the lineup here for Angola. Well, Ali Diarra spent a lot of the summer in the NBA G League, of course, and He's more fascinating talent because we have seen him in the lineup here where he's a power forward. But coach, is it fair to say his natural position is that 5-man?
Well, we've seen some perimeter shooting from him. I think for his career, as he continues, probably his future as a 4, but playing in the BAL as well as a 5-man. You see Molly going to zone here.
Final seconds. To the body, matching up with Shildy Dundal. Trying to force up a correct and keep one. Another offensive board. Put back real good. Another offensive board with a big time block by Tiara. Molly come up with it. To the body. Trying to break down the pressure himself. Needs it. Offense. It's off a quick 3. Good offense again. Goes out of bounds. His first little mix-up from Angola. It did take off 3 seconds from the shot clock. So indeed, we got 5 to get over the halfway line.
Well, you see, we saw this in the Cameroon game. Angola had 3 players committed to the ball there. If you're able to get through these traps, keep the ball moving, you can find plenty of opportunities at the rim. Molly just getting sped up a little bit, forcing some perimeter stuff there.
Again, another unforced turnover. Gakko's in a good position, but let's say giving him a poor pass. There's so much expectation on these Angolan players in front of these 12,000 fans. The winningest team in the history of the FIBA AFROBASKET. Just trying to set up. Nice seal out by Koulibaly. Now cutting it down to single digits with under 90 seconds to go here in the first half.
Well, I've been talking about that the whole half. I think that's something that they should continue to go to. Canute with a huge size advantage.
China's no better, coach. You got hands all over Dundal, and you cut it down to single digits. I know it's a part of the learning curve. He's still a young player, but you can see Barlow getting in his face. You're never really going to stop Shildy Dundal. This is a replay of the backdoor play of the seal off, but the only best you can do against Shildy Dundal is contain him.
Well, I like the zone they went to. Staying compact, like you said, trying to just contain, keep it in front. You have to rebound out of that zone, but I also like the set that they went to there. Koulibaly being the primary ball handler, now able to get Canute on a post up. Let's see if they look to do that again here.
On the missed free throw. Now making a 3-point play. The Sosa getting the offensive rebound. Robbie trying to put it behind his back. Drive in, out of control, nothing given. It's another Molly turnover.
See, they just have them sped up. Able to get out of that trap, just not able to make a good decision. Molly stays in this zone.
Yell makes that pass. Gakko bump fakes. Now Gakko gets it, fires it. Molly goes quick. We'll go 2 for 1. Down by 12.
Well, they need to have clock awareness. Definitely should be going 2 for 1.
Follow no good. Gakko. Molly swipes. It is where the clock awareness has got to be good. You've got to go for the final shot. Not only did they not go for the final shot, they just turned it over.
See, Sosa still on the ground there. Definitely looked awkward when he went up to finish. Not sure what exactly happened.
Well, that's a worrying sign because remember, they did lose Jilson Bango to injury in the quarterfinals.
You see him reaching for that coin. Looked like he handed awkwardly there. Molly, you're just trying to get out of this half, only down 11. Absolute struggle. Sosa not looking good there, as you mentioned. Joseph Bango already out of this tournament with a knee injury, and now Sosa did not look good there.
Well, we hope Nick Silvio's okay. Doesn't look good though. We hope for the best. So Angola bringing back Lucchetti into the game. Going slightly smaller. Now 17.2, trying to go for the final shot. Mali's still in the zone. They don't. Fighting Miguel again. Take this one. There's a pump fake. Step through. Goes up for it. Doesn't get it. And that is the end of the first half, where Angola currently lead by 12 points against Mali in the 31st ever final of the FIBA AFROBASKET.
good?
No.
Tamari, go for it.
Really?
Dari Selasa, anak kan ada nomor klip, jauh beri jauh, memang mulai gini.
It's in the QR code for Courtside 1891. Make sure you download it so you can get all FIBA live streams and extended highlights of FIBA competitions as we get ready to get the second half underway. Remember, the FIBA AmeriCup has just commenced. As well as in a few days' time, we'll have the beginning of the FIBA Eurobasket. Courtside 1891. Download it today. This is going to be Mali with the first possession. And Coach, how crucial will these first few minutes be for Mali?
Well, absolutely, and you just got to get this game into single digits, find some kind of rhythm offensively. And for Angola, it's all points off of turnovers, second chance points, 10-2 there.
Karute just goes down the middle. A little floater and again, unable to connect. Well, Lucchetti thought about it. And they're just coming out. Something like Mali going back into a matchup, coach. 7 points for Francisco. That's not money to finish. Such a poor foul to give away because it was an easy offensive rebound where Coquille didn't even have to work for Coach.
Well, interesting starting lineup here in the second half for Pep Claros. He's got Bruno Fernando on the bench. Electing to go smaller here. Coquille getting the start along with McKinney.
Coquille makes the first one. Mamadou Diarra watching for the bench. They're playing in front for the Voyage Boulogne. Former club of Wembanyama. 14-point lead currently hit Mali here at the beginning, or excuse me, to Angola. Mali's got to find some rhythm. They'll be going a run. Oh, they're going to give it. No, I don't think. They don't realize it. He's been teed up. The crowd are celebrating. I think he's going to realize quickly that it didn't go in his favor.
Well, this is where it's interesting. This is what I was saying earlier about, his game is a lot of theatrics. We saw even Almeida ejected in the second half of that quarterfinal game against Angola. If you're Shilda Dundao, you've got to be disciplined now. Another flopping technical would have you eliminated from this game, so he's got to be disciplined.
Not only that, also an unsportsmanlike foul, because that was what Almeida had. He had originally got called for the unsportsmanlike, and then it was the flop they called, which they thought it was the set. Now, on there because Canute just go in with his forearm. 17-point lead to Angola. Triple hand up. Now culminating in a ball screen. He goes back up with it. Well, everything just sloppy. Mali still have possession. Diarra trying to force his way in, but they're going to call an offensive foul. Mali and Diarra having a very tough night tonight, coach.
Well, it's been one of the few bright spots, actually. The rest of these guys really struggling. Diarra with 11 points. You see a little bit up high there with Coquille, but Mali just not been able to find anything in the half court. I think they got to look to run in transition, see if they can get something easy.
Goal finds Francisco. Makes a pass. Good hands, but from over to good zone. 3. Now they come up. Now they can run. Canute. With a left-handed layup and cuts it down to 11. Nice finish by Siramak Canute.
That's how they have to play. Any opportunity to get out and run, they've really got to be aggressive there, not let this game get into the half court.
They're trying to put some pressure against Lucchetti. Lucchetti finds a way in. Nice defense. Foul is going to be called against Coquille. be the second team foul against Angola here in the third quarter.
See, this zone is causing some problems for Angola. These stops are allowing Mali to get out and run. It's really been the only area that they've found points in this game.
Trying to go through the step through. Yet had to recover. Nonetheless, a fantastic finish by Sirmak Kanute. Fab Claros demanding Buketi. Puts some pressure against Koulibaly. Koulibaly bumps. Finds Diarra. Oh, I missed it. And he couldn't cut it down to single digits.
Beautiful drop off there. Diarra is unable to come up with the finish.
Well, they missed 10. Now, Mali can run here. They have numbers. Set that screen early for Kanute. Gotta go quick. The horns action. Finds Diarra. Go kill it. Discipline. Oh, really having a nightmare here in the second half, coach.
Finish these shots around the rim.
At the same time, Angola, but you can see the diving on the floor. This is what it means. 12 championship. They want to win tonight. Buketi. Final second. Dull will set the roof off. Foul is going to be given. That's going to be the third team foul against Angola.
This zone has stifled Angola here, giving them some opportunities to get back in this game if you're Mali.
Of course, you and I remember all too well, Coach. Angola versus China 2 years ago at the 2023 FIBA Basketball World Cup in Manila. It was that simple 2-3 zone that Sasha Djordjevic and his players put on. And China miraculously defeating Angola. So this is not something new for them, struggling against the zone.
Well, if there's one thing they lack, it's perimeter shooting.
Balo, jump hook. Makachi, quite a box out there against Diarra. Now Miguel will go coast and kips well. Coach Alhaji Dibko. He can't pull the challenge if he wants.
I think that's the right call there. It looks like it was on the glass. To see the replay here to know.
Let's have a look here.
That was close.
I think he may have got that in time, Coach.
Yeah, I think you might be right. Looks like he did get it challenged. The question is, did they have possession of the ball after the block?
They'll be able to see that from the replay. Let's listen now to the officials.
If a goaltending violation occurred, we want to see if the ball hit the backboard before it was hit by the hand. The initial decision is goaltending. Please play through in slow-mo, frame by frame.
He scored. He hit the ball before he hit it.
So I see that he hits that onto the board. I don't see that hit glass and then hand. I see that hit onto the board. What do you see?
The ball before he get tagged by hand. That was scored.
Is that the best angle we have?
So he hit the ball.
So I have that as a clean block. So after review, the basket shall not count and no one has control of the ball after, so we'll resume with a jump ball. Okay?
Well, successful head coach challenge. And a jump ball, so possession will go to Angola because Mali had first possession.
Well, interesting there. Didn't see on that replay who had possession. That was my question. I'd love to see the end of this play. You see the block. You see, looks to, I mean, clearly Mali does have possession there, so not sure why that's called a jump ball.
Mali again, sitting in that 2-3 zone. Miguel, mid-range. That's what they needed. Somebody just to find something against the zone defense. This is where Mali struggled in the half court. Angola's only got one foul to give. Great defense by JOGO. Nice pass finds Balo. Finally getting points in the paints.
Nice job there from Canuti. If you can get through that first line of pressure, they're going to throw so many bodies, a little bit undisciplined behind the ball. You're going to find easy shots at the rim. Struggles for Molly just to get through the perimeter ball pressure.
Well, Miguel went from downtown with the putback by the Benfica man. Francisco, what a game he's had tonight, coach. Malo got a Michael Killer. He's got to go to work, surely. And coach, I think he could have taken another dribble or two.
This pressure just has them so sped up. Everything a struggle here.
Francisco, a three-point threat. But that man is Miguel. Little floater comes in. What a spark off the bench.
You might need a timeout here if you're Molly. You don't want this game to get too far out of reach.
Yara kicks out. Molly can make this mix up. That's a good look. A good offense. But it just won't go in.
Definitely a good look. Just nothing going their way right now. Gonna hang tough if you're Molly.
Trying to fill a bucket here is going to set the roof off. Almost 4 minutes to go here in the third. Don't wait for the acrobatic. That went up on Balo, so Angola's going to get it back. Well, call this man Glorioso for the putback. We'll see him in the Basketball Champions League for a 4th season. Obrigado, Francisco.
Beautiful follow there. Yara's got to know that all these players from Angola are going to be crashing. Not napping there. Francisco showing why he deserves to be in the starting lineup.
Not a lot of time for JOGO. You have to think about shooting it. Finds a little bit of space. High arc. And again, ball on Rote. Good night. Mighty Mouse. Another big time three.
If you're Molly, I think you need a timeout here. This crowd is really fired up. Your young team really struggle here this game.
Can't have Jara make one. Jara battles. Angola comes up with it. Yeah, bit of contact. Now they have numbers. Kulabali finds Canute. Canute goes in, a foul. That's going to be number 3 against Bruno Fernando.
It's good. Give the foul number good. Good protection.
Oh, great job by Kulabali. Really saved the basket on the other end. Got it out to Canute there and able to draw the contact.
Oh, look at this. The dagger from Mighty Mouse. He really is a superhero tonight. He's been a superhero since the quarterfinals, coach.
He's been doing it this whole tournament. These big, high-arcing threes get this crowd into this game. If you're Molly, you just got to make sure you stand within striking distance right now. You got to maybe consider extending that zone, see if you can get a couple traps in the backcourt before falling back.
He's converting both free throws. Still Angola have a 16-point advantage. Well, they have brought in Mamadou Diarra to the game, so that will give them a bit more of a perimeter threat, I guess. Miguel still has it. Some pass to Celta Miguel. Final seconds, winding down. Miguel's got to think about this one. He'll go for a tough fadeaway. Yes! You gotta love it, coach. Welcome to the AFROBASKET. Everything flying in now.
Well, I'm really surprised Coach Dicko not going with a timeout here. These young players have to navigate this crowd right now. Stay composed. Make sure they're getting quality shots here over the last 2.5 minutes, but you can't let this lead continue to grow.
Celta Miguel just raising the temperature tonight here at the arena. Diarra misses the first free throw. Still a 19-point lead to Angola. Missing both. Oh no, they changed it. The initial decision was that it was going to be Angola ball.
Yeah, I'd have to see the replay. Looked to me like it was off Diarra, but
let's have a look here. Watch out, Diarra.
I think that might be the right call. Looks like Gaku hit it last.
Sissoko using the physical play. Can't finish. Now Kadute. Mali hasn't made a three tonight. Again. Gaku stepping out of bounds, so Mali will get another crack at it. Trying to feel Mali suffering the same case that Senegal suffered in the semifinals when they just couldn't buy a three from the perimeter coach.
Well, it's this pressure speeds you up on the perimeter. Just gotta stay composed, stay disciplined.
Only 1 out of 14 for downtown. Diarra tries to force his way in, out of control, and now we'll go back to Angola. Well, he's had a tough one here in the second half. Hasn't scored yet. Still with 5 rebounds. You got to think, if they don't turn things around, at least in the next 2 minutes going into the fourth quarter, it is going to be a long 10 minutes for Mali, coach.
Well, I agree. Again, really surprised we haven't seen a timeout during any of this run. Just trusting these young players to have to navigate this. But you're absolutely right. They've got to chip away at this. Only 27 points scored this entire game. This lead is too big here.
Anything now will put them up by 20 plus. Kokilla looks to attack, bumps. Sissoko coming up with the rebound. 1:45 now here in the third quarter. You've got to build something. Sissoko banging, pulled the double team. Just nothing working.
Sissoko not really a go-to threat in the post there. Kanuti on the bench right now. Koulibaly struggling.
Gaku goes in, bit of contact, and it's way too easy for Angola, coach.
Just think you're clearly out of sorts. This young team having such a hard time here.
Just over a minute. Angola's emotions right now a little frustrating. Turnaround. That's their first field goal in quite a while here in the third.
It certainly was. Hope to try to get a little bit of positive here over the final minute.
Angola could go 2 for 1. 6 seconds here on the shot clock. Good double. Valente, we should have thought about taking a shot. So 1.5. Angola ball on the baseline. It's good defense in my mind, coach. I mean, let's see something different.
And we can see 5 players from Angola swarming the paint. That's how they're going to play. They're going to attack you. Just got to be disciplined. Continue to move the ball. You can draw those double teams pretty easily. It's what you do once they come. So we saw Cameroon have some success drawing the trap and pick and roll, finding short rolls from there.
Milton. Milton. Pensa a bloquear a Celton. Vamos. Celton por aquí. Milton. Aliu. Tiene un segundo. Tienes que enviar la pelota.
Wait.
Well, incredible atmosphere tonight here at the 2025 FIBA AFROBASKET final. The opening game we saw Angola have a very big victory against Libya. And well, 34.7 left here in the third. 1 quarter away with a 19-point lead potentially from winning their first AFROBASKET championship in 12 years. And it would be potentially their 12th championship.
Everything going their way so far. You see this crowd getting into it. Angola is only 10 minutes away here from another championship here at AFROBASKET.
Miguel, quick 3, one-legged. Obligato! Big time shot by a big time player. And coach, little bit of time left between shot clock and game clock. You can hear the Angola fans right now. Exhilarating atmosphere in the valley. Nice penetration. Oh, we gotta go quickly. Not a lot of time. Good dough. Final seconds. Gotta take this. Here's up for it. High yard. The way he's been playing, I wouldn't have been surprised that he made it. Well, there you have it. End of the third quarter.
Here, and you can see why this crowd is into this game. I know how close they are.
How unlucky is that? We've seen him make a few 4-point plays. Amadou Diarra potentially had a 4-point play, but he does get 3 free throws coming up.
Let's see here if they pick up full court. Trying to force turnover there. So I'm curious to see how long Kabuti stays on the bench. There's not a lot of time for them to get back in this game, especially with the offensive struggles that they've had.
The only foul trouble to be concerned with for Angola is that Bruno Fernando. He has 3 fouls. While for Mali, it's Husseini Drame. He has 3 fouls. Just look at take a few gambles maybe early here in the fourth quarter.
See them just standard man-to-man. JOGO backing off the pressure, so they'll probably fall back to that zone maybe.
Selton Miguel changing his position. Valencia goes baseline. Take on Diarra. Now Mamadou Diarra has it. Had a three-player advantage. He didn't capitalize. Sissoko to Sila. It's going to be the second team foul against Angola here in the fourth quarter.
There's good awareness there. Sissoko had Miguel buried at the rim. Eventually able to find him there.
Second foul. Washington put it on Shode Ndoko. I don't know why he was clearly on something again. Philip Bali really has had a struggle tonight. Should have been a put in for him.
Just see how rushed all the players are, even when they have open looks. I feel like they're not.
Another turnover. JOGO moving the traffic. Diarra throwing it away. Good rotation by Selton Miguel. Now Valencia finds Dole. I think the foul was called before the buckets.
Well, it was. And here, JOGO, you actually are fortunate there. Erase the layup from the bow, so I'm not sure why Molly would be complaining about this one.
Let's have a look here. That might be an unsportsmanlike. Did you see JOGO, coach?
Well, I think you're absolutely right. It looks like the refs will probably look at this, and I would expect this to be upgraded. So a lack of discipline there from JOGO.
What was he thinking? Let's listen out to the referees.
It's reviewed. If the foul by green number 8 meets the criteria for an unsportsmanlike foul, the initial decision is a personal foul. Please run it through in normal speed. Can I see the main camera angle, please? So I see a wind up, impact, and then follow through. So this contact is hard and it's excessive. It's also around the head. So this meets the criteria for an unsportsmanlike foul. So after review, do you confirm? After review, we have an unsportsmanlike foul on green number 8, and we have 2 shots to white 47. Unsportsmanlike foul. We have green number 8, unsportsmanlike foul. 2 ejections.
Well, I just don't understand why JOGO, I mean, he was getting a call for the foul for jumping in the air, but I just don't know why he swung through with his left arm.
Well, definitely a little lack of discipline there. Clearly an unsportsmanlike foul, and just can't afford to have possessions like this. Such a big lead to chip away at.
So Valente goal for the unsportsmanlike, excuse me, join the unsportsmanlike, so he'll get the 2 free throws. As mentioned, they will get it back. First free throw good. We haven't even played 2 minutes so far here in the fourth quarter, and you know, you make that early three-pointer, coach, you kind of think game potential. You don't know if you make a run, but you make a move like this, kind of just seal the deal for us.
Well, I mean, there's still time in this game. It just seems like such a big lead because their offense has been struggling so mightily. I think if you're Molly, you got to start considering track a little bit more. The zone's been effective, but just eats so much shot clock. Not really forcing anything. They're just staying packed. It makes sense in the first half, but right now, seeing everything go Angola's way here.
I think it's the shell shock factor as well. Playing in front of 12,000 fans. Of course, they were flying with euphoria after the wins against Guinea. Senegal booking their tickets. Jara going for a deep three. That doesn't touch anything.
Just every one of these shots so rushed, just so out of rhythm. And see here another Angola player coming into the paint unchecked. That's their 20th offensive rebound in this game.
Valente throwing this one away. Diarra comes up with it. Diarra's just got to play on. Getting frustrated since the third quarter with the officials. Now, there was a bit of contact, but that's a breakaway for you guys. Nice work by Canute. It
was a good attack there, able to avoid Kokila. And if you're Mali, you gotta look to extend your pressure a little bit. Not enough time in this game to sit in that zone, see if you're able to speed up the tempo of the game, force some turnovers.
Diarra, I think, should have just come out of the game and just. Diarra's come back in, that's what it is. Mali temporarily had 6 players on the floor, I think. Well, great work by Canute. Because like Umar Balo, San and Fuseni Drame, they were a part of that Mali U19 team back in 2019, making it to the final of the FIBA U19 World Cup and losing to a USA team who currently have quite a few predominant NBA players. But Mali's made history getting to this final. But still, as you said, Coach, there is a little bit of time left. Fernandez, little floater goes in. Medeiros secures a rebound. Oh, they want a traveling violation. And Childe, another three-pointer. Now Coach Dino getting ready for a timeout. 23-point lead. Canute goes for free. That's just not going to go.
He's got to be more disciplined. You see the rush three. Other end defensively, Diarra wanting the travel call while he's playing, shoulder wide open, hits the three. Just seeing the youth on display here.
Well, Valente went a baseline and took the entire front court defense of Mali, and he put them on a poster, Coach. And it started with a killer crossover. We got to start to fill now. Up 25. Maybe, just maybe, that 12 championship. That was a cross. That was a throwdown. That was inevitable.
Really nice move there from Valente. Diarra just got to close out short, make him beat you from that perimeter, but it's been a struggle here for Mali. Both ends of the floor. 20 offensive rebounds. So even when they have been able to force these stops, just unable to get a defensive rebound, get out and run. At this stage of the game, you have no choice but to trap, try to speed it up, see if you can force some turnovers. You have nothing to lose at this stage. And you know that you really have not been able to do anything in the half court.
I think, it sounds a bit of an oxymoron to say it, but they had 18 turnovers at the end of the first half. Only 2 so far here in the second half, which is slightly better for Mali. But, Coach, the problem for them, it has been the three-point shooting for Mali.
I mean, most of these shots, they just look so rushed on their attempts, and that's what the ball pressure will do. Just 1 for 16 from 3. It's been such a struggle for them in all areas offensively here tonight.
6:56. Every fan in the building on their feet. It's just the defense. It's been suffocating. And Valente, well, he's come big tonight, Coach. 8 points. He's not a natural scorer. Definitely not a three-point shooter, but he's had some great moments.
Well, it really has. Both him and Francisco are usually just kind of energy guys at the starting lineup. And you see Angola forcing a turnover coming out of this timeout. And it's just indicative of how this game has been for Mali.
Well, Coach Ditko went for the head coach's challenge. Discussion with the referee, but no one's going to the monitor. Miguel. Every time Jadol's got the ball, everybody waits. There's a foul. It's going to be another trip to the charity stripe.
Well, that's the problem with the man. They did a good job of containing them down. I'm sure if Drame reached in there, Hydera certainly was vertical, but it's really difficult to keep them down out of the paint.
Now listen to the fans. His name's not Dudell. It's MVP at the moment.
You would expect if, barring a miracle here from Mali, that Shilda Dundao would indeed be the MVP of this tournament. And I can remember him as a young player. We brought him into one of our training camps. We knew in the future he would be a player and it'd be important on this national team. I don't know if any of us could have predicted just how good a player he has become, but really doing it all for his team, not only tonight, but throughout this tournament.
And he's come a long way in 2 years. Think about that opening game at the World Cup. Now Dudell behind the back. The offensive foul is going to be called.
See Canuti there, sacrificing his body. Tequila barreling in there in transition. And, I'm not sure he's set. It's definitely a tough call there.
Very tough indeed. But going back to Shilda Dundao, we were there 2 years ago. I was there last summer in Valencia. They had their struggles at the World Cup. They had their struggles in Valencia. And it's almost like that 2 years of keeping the same core of players together. They've grown. Now adding potentially that 12th FIBA AFROBASKET championship, extending their winning streak. Well, Bruno Fernando will sub back in the game.
Just see all these players from Mali so out of rhythm. The pressure at top just got them really disoriented.
That's only the second three-pointer of the game for Mali. Only from Fousseni Drame, because he does have 4 fouls. Well, Diarra, that started at the box out line. That started when Dudell went to the free throw line, because Diarra was in the wrong position. Fernandez kind of said to him, can you get it to your spot? They had a few words, so that was brewing for a while. Let's not look at the three-pointer by Fousseni Drame.
Really one of the few open looks. Selden Miguel electing not to contest that shot. I'm surprised at that, but it's been a struggle to find any kind of open look offensively tonight for Mali.
Still leading by 27. Dudell coming off the screen. Finds Rukeni, corner 3. But too short. Angola get it back. Again, they want to work with Dudell. There's a kick out. Final seconds, Rukeni's got to take this one. Oh, Fernandez. Fighting for every offensive board. This man's incredible. Now Shilda, there's a lob. They still have it, but only a few seconds. Fernandez. Bruno, gotta take it. That time Fernandez is getting called for an over the back.
23 offensive rebounds for Angola in this game. That's just been part of the struggle. Angola also has not shot the ball well, but they just had so many extra attempts. Really difficult to beat any team, giving up 21 extra shot attempts in this game. So the turnovers and the offensive rebounds, how Angola have won all their games in this AFROBASKET, and we're seeing it all on display here tonight.
That's an interesting point you make about the three-point shooting, because that has been a recurring theme for Angola with this unit. And you've got to think, if they're able to improve that, these players, when they go to their clubs, whatever league they're playing in, wherever they go next season, if you're three-point shooting, you could be a team that contends at a FIBA Basketball World Cup.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you look at their shooting numbers, 32% from the floor, 22% from three, and yet they're up 23 points. So, you know, the defense is obviously there, their ability to crash the boards, but sometimes it comes at the expense of their offense. And I think you're absolutely right with your point. I think for them to compete on the global stage, they're going to have to improve their shooting numbers and combine that with what they're already doing here at AFROBASKET.
Mali, no fouls to give. Johnny comes up with a steal. Wow. I'd say sure they did tell. He dipped his hand in the cookie jar.
Looked like he got away with one there. I think nearly a foul across the arm on Drame.
Kenny finds Valente. Now they find Bruno. Hydera coming up with the steal. That's good defense by the captain.
See Hydera still competing out there.
They just haven't been able to get enough from Balo inside the paint. Great seal-off, but it's better defense by Bruno Fernando.
Such a struggle for all these players. Nothing going. Wide open look at the rim there for Balo.
Again, time winding down. Jundal in and around. What a move. Foul's given. Oh. Mali plays. Now applauding off every goal. They've got to keep their composure now. Well, the VIP fans, what a show they've had tonight from their country. 3:44 away. This one looking to move by Jundal. I think he may have just clipped him slightly on the head.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot of contact there. See Balo's frustration. A lot of things to be frustrated about if you're Mali. You knew coming into this game it was going to come down to rebounding, taking care of the ball, and simply have not been able to do that. 22 turnovers, 23 offensive rebounds allowed. Regardless of how you may feel about specific calls, there's no way to win a game. You're giving away that many extra possessions.
Nice screen set by Balo. Now Diarra. Then loses control. Here comes Angola. Jundal. Finds Kaku. Oh, you take it. Three. Got it! A timeout is going to be called by Alhaji Dicko. Because indeed, the atmosphere, they know what's coming. They feel it. The winningest team in the history of the AfroBasket. The unselfishness by Shirley Jundal. And the smile, the $1 million smile. Or billion quadruple smile, I should say, from Gaku.
Well, absolutely. A lot to smile about from this game. You'll see, one of the beauties of basketball here in Angola, they really play to the fans, similar to Brazilian soccer. So I would imagine these final 3.5 minutes could be filled with a few more highlight plays.
It was coming into the fourth quarter, Coach, when Mali had that great begin with Sirmak Kanute. I mean, this highlights the game. Angola, 17 points from turnovers, only 8 for Mali. Fast break points is fairly even between these, but second chance points, 16-2. And you compare the bench contribution, 26 coming from Angola's bench.
I think the biggest thing, 21-5 second chance points, 23 offensive rebounds allowed. You know that Angola wants to go with these big lineups. Mali's been unable to keep them off the glass.
For all these final 3 minutes and 18 seconds for Mali, it's got to be about pride. They've done a magnificent job of getting to this final. Kanute finds Balo, big dunk. Even the home crowd like that one. Or maybe this is cheers coming, excuse me.
they like that one. But Canute, rare assist for him here. We've seen him able to get into the paint, create for his bigs throughout this AFROBASKET tournament, but tonight just a struggle.
Another foul drawn. Because Molly's got to understand, every time you foul, you just send them to the free throw line. Make this 2:46 left even longer. Just misses the angle. There's a dunk by Malo. For Cermak Canute with the assist. He'll be going to France next season to play in the second division with Loire. He'll be trying to contest for promotion. Coach, how do you work in this environment as a head coach?
Well, when you're on the right side of it, it can be a lot of fun, but certainly for a young team like Molly, it can be difficult to find your composure. I think I saw that a lot. It was really surprised in that third quarter. Coach Kicko let the Knoxville in the timeout, and you can see the struggles that they had.
Yeah.
Not only the crowd, but just the ball pressure. Just playing at a tempo you're not comfortable with. And a lot of the missed shots result of that.
Canute is still battling here in the backcourt. Lonnie Koulibaly. Canute goes for a quick catch and shoot. It's only the third three for Molly. He's got a bright career still ahead of him. It's a very exciting point guard.
He definitely had a great AFROBASKET here, making his debut, and see the experience from the under-19 World Cup on display, but tonight just not their night.
Now we reach the final 2 minutes. Canute goes for another one. Malo trying to go for the follow-up. This is Angola. You want to keep scoring. You want to get this crowd even more hyped when you get ready for the celebrations.
Well, I would expect Pep Carlos to sub Shilda out, allow this crowd to shower him with applause.
There's the three by Luke Kenny. A little too flat. Yara may have got away with a push-off. Finds Balo. And just getting the ball taken away yet again. Don't have numbers. Here comes Fernando. Bruno decided to go with the easy layup. Maybe just testing the crowd's emotions. Because he knows the big celebration is coming up in just over a minute. Penetration by Koulibaly. Again, same story. Nothing connecting. Shilde, why not? Three up. Koulibaly still putting on that pressure. Good goal. Getting fouled by Canute. That will be his fourth personal foul. Well, as I mentioned, last time these two teams met, it was indeed Ibrahima Haidara, the only player that played tonight. And this indeed is the fifth time in the history both Mali and Angola have played each other in any competition. Well, it's a provisional substitution, so you're right. So if he makes that second free throw, it's going to be a huge round of applause.
Well, this arena is going to erupt when he comes out of this game. And you see the excitement of the fans here. They are ready to shower this young player with applause. And he has earned it. Likely the MVP of this tournament, leading his team to championship here.
Well, there you have it. Shilde Dudal. What a performance by this man. He's come a long way since the Basketball World Cup in the Philippines. So last summer in Valencia. And you can hear the MVP chants from this crowd, Coach. Incredible scenes here at the AFROBASKET for him.
Oh, he has earned it. Incredible game from him. We've seen it throughout this tournament, so many big plays.
Well, indeed, history will be made. Shot clock will wind down. I think they're just going to let it dribble out. Oh no. The game's not over. Still 14.8. There's still time left. Now we have it. Dodal. 12 long years since Angola has won the FIBA AFROBASKET. And indeed here in their home, they will win their 12th championship. Angola, congratulations. Forza Angola, the 2025 FIBA AFROBASKET champions. Celebration time now. Incredible scenes here. What a magnificent performance from this team, coach.
Well, it really was. And, you know, coming into this tournament, the likely favorites, and they delivered. Every one of these games have been a struggle, really, until this championship game. All coming together here in this moment.
Well, Claro's being picked up by his players. And of course, he picked up where you left off with a great team. You had the veterans, you had the legends. When he came in, it was time for the new generation to come in. And coach, you saw those young players coming through the ranks. So you very much have a big part in the role of what this team has achieved today.
Well, you see how important it is to the country. The president and vice president here watching. This is a basketball country. It means so much to them.
Yeah, bro.
Well, now we're just going to start to prepare for the award ceremony, where, of course, we will award the bronze medalists, which was Senegal, along with the runners-up of Mali, and then our 2025 FIBA AFROBASKET champions, Angola. Well, the Malian players go into their corner with their fans who have been terrific. Every game they've been here, and they've shown magnificent support, and they've almost filled out an entire section, coach.
Well, they really did. They came here to support their young team and just didn't have a lot to cheer for in this game. It's a struggle. You saw really from the jump offensively, just unable to find any kind of rhythm. Able to hang tight there until the end of that second quarter. And I think once there was separation in this game, offensively, just unable to really ever come back into it.
Bruno Fernando, a lot of talk about does he need to be in the conversations about some of the greatest in his position. Of course, you're going to talk about the likes of Jean-Jacques Conceição, but you know, to be talked about, to be regarded as one of the best, only the best are remembered when they win. And this team, they've done that.
Well, absolutely. You know, as you said, there's a long history of championships here, and you know, they talk about who are the best players to ever suit up for Angola. All those players with multiple AFROBASKET titles. So for some of these young players on this team, maybe just the beginning of that success, but you know, Shilda Dundao, he's 27 years old. We're going to see him on this stage for many more years to come.
Of course, this federation, now that you've won, you've got to start to think, what's next? No doubt there's going to be a long celebration for this, because the journey for the 2027 FIBA World Cup qualifiers, the journey to Doha, Qatar, does begin in November. But like I said, they'll go into those qualifiers once we know where the teams will be in the groups. But right now, I think they can enjoy the summer, because the domestic was finished. Petro de Luanda obviously won the championship here in Angola, defeating their rivals. But now it's about the national team. This team winning their first AFROBASKET in 1989, and coach, it's been an amazing legacy here in Angola.
You saw it there, Carlos Moraes congratulating Shilda. You know, these veterans have come back in this building. You see how electric these fans were.
There's one legend we still haven't seen. Maybe you've seen him. Lino Paulo, where's he been?
Well, if he's in this building somewhere, it'd be hard to find with all these fans here, and they had a lot to cheer.
Of course, it's been a magnificent AFROBASKET. We've seen representatives at the highest level of FIBA, the Basketball Africa League, and even the NBA, because the showcase of talent has been phenomenal. As you can see the 3-point come from Gaku. These are the highlights from the fourth quarter, and while Martin made a very good start on the opening play, it's just too much to ask for to make that comeback.
Offensively, it was just such a struggle for them this whole game. Never really found anything half-court that they could go to. Just unable to get out. Just struggled just to come up with a defensive rebound. 23 offensive rebounds. You have to wonder valuable experience for these young players from Mali. Most of them just 23, 24 years old. I'm sure we'll be seeing this team back on this stage again.
Well, now it's their time. Sylvia Souza, of course, continuing the family tradition of excellence here at the AFROBASKET. That Clara's just congratulating his players. And, I keep saying where this team has gone from where we were 2 years ago with them in the middle of the Philippines. But this is also great work by FIBA, the window system. Qualifiers to all the continental competitions, qualifiers to the World Cup. You keep your national team together. The more time you spend together, Coach, the better it is. You were part of those windows in 2019, 2017, getting them to the 2019 Basketball World Cup in China.
Well, no question. I think the other thing, too, allowing some of these younger players to get valuable experience. Oftentimes, the windows where your veterans are unable to play. I think you're seeing why this tournament has arguably been the best one we've seen to date. A lot of these young players now getting experience from the windows, getting experience from the BAL, coming back to their national teams now, and whether it's Mali, even Guinea, some of these teams that traditionally have not done well in the men's tournament, now suddenly up amongst the contenders.
Bruno Fernando leaving the NBA this season to go play in the Spanish ACB Liga Endesa, the domestic league of Spain with Real Madrid. I kind of feel that he didn't have his struggles at times here, but he was phenomenal in the semis last night. Of course, that's a big moment here tonight, but maybe just leaving the NBA. By all means, he probably could go back at some point. Still a lot of good years left in him, but that year in Spain with the best team, and arguably the best domestic league in the world, definitely prepped him, gave him just a little bit more time to prepare for this big AFROBASKET. Because you knew when we found out Angola were going to host it, after a long decade, they were hungry to bring this championship home.
Fernando, big part of this national team. You see
had the 12
this tournament, how much it means to him. We saw Celta Miguel in the post-game interview, the emotions behind it. These players want to represent their country. Great to see them back here in this tournament.
Kokila Gaku.
Oh, the coach. They already had the
story
jerseys.
for their children, their grandchildren. Solo Kenny. Unfortunately, Jilson Bango went down with an injury. Hopefully, it's not too serious and he can recover in time wherever he goes. Because he had a great season last year.
Playing for Bayern Munich, signed with Fenerbahce. A young player who's got a lot of basketball ahead of him, so we hope he'll be okay. Great for the Sosa also out there celebrating like the groin injury wasn't too serious.
That was Shildy Vidal, one of the opening plays, finding Rondo Francisco. So going back to Benfica next season, now they don't have to do qualifiers for the Basketball Champions League. And, this game was 7 apiece at the beginning. And then it was Angola's defense coach that suffocated because they weren't great from the three-point line. And where they were clinical was forcing turnovers and getting out on the run.
Well, that's what they've done this whole tournament. They just wear you down with their physicality and ball pressure. I thought it might be a difficult task for Mali here. Not a lot of depth at those guard positions, not a lot of experience. I saw that play out, just especially here in the second half. Really never came up with any kind of answer.
moments this evening with 8 points. Incredible atmosphere was here in Orlando. So just looking at all these highlights. We are just getting ready, preparing for the award ceremony. We are going to present the awards for the bronze medalists. Medalists are runners up, which are Mali, the champions in the tournaments. All 5 or all-star team, if you like, along with the MVP of the AFROBASKET. It's going to be very interesting to decide for whoever it's going to be, Coach.
I think the MVP clearly needs to be Shogo Dundao. Who's joining him on that all-tournament team should be interesting, but what a tournament he had, leading his team here to this championship.
That was the first three-pointer by Celtic Miguel, the fadeaway. I don't know what was more impressive, that one or the one he had in the corner a few moments later, the one-legged one, but it was the baseline post by Valente. Getting past Diarra, Balo just didn't want to get in the way. Well, one legend wearing another legend's name, and now he's been embraced by every fan here this evening.
Gesture here from Bruno Fernando. I know Carlos Moraes very disappointed not to be selected to this national team. Was expecting to let this be his swan song here.
They didn't select him.
A great moment
He's
there.
good player.
Fernando
He played for so long.
with the jersey. This crowd able to honor him.
Yeah,
So richly deserved.
Well, some would say, or many would say, he is the greatest in the history of Angolan basketball. And they would also say he's probably the greatest shooting guard in the history of the AFROBASKET. Because I remember watching him when I was a teenager, 2006, along with Kikash Gomes in Japan at the World Cup.
You see the emotion there. Actually had dinner with Carlos Moraes after our games yesterday. You see Professor Victorino Cunha, really the architect of this magical run. And you can see what it means to Carlos Moraes, and all these former players here have been a part of this legacy.
A very special time here for the Angolan players and their legend, Carlos Moraes. He's currently living in Portugal at the moment, I believe.
He was based in Portugal, but was not going to miss this tournament. Coming back here to support his group, and see the emotions there, how much it means to him.
Well, Fernando trying to get the crowd into it again. So there's giving a slight delay to the award ceremony, but it's their time now. Of course, the last time they played in the final, it was you and Nigeria breaking that run. It's been 12 long years. Finally, championship number 12 has come back to the Angolans. Of course, quite a legacy for him to live up to, considering his father.
No question about that. And a little bit of a struggle in this tournament for him, but just happy to see that the injury doesn't look that severe. Out there celebrating with his teammates, and what a great experience for this team. A lot of young players on this roster. Angola will be contenders for years to come here. And they translate this success outside of this building as they move forward for the World Cup.
Well, fans, we are just trying to get further preparations done for the award ceremony. I have to agree with you, Coach. You might have to be the MVP of the 2025 FIBA AFROBASKET. Because you can always look at the stats of all the players and think, well, certain individuals have really fighting on all cylinders, but it's the moments, the clutch time, the prime time, when it counts. And that game against Cabo Verde, just mercilessly getting to the free throw line, 18 out of 23, which was enough to see them get to the semis. And then the big moments he had in the fourth quarter against Cameroon, course, that game did finish on a foul three-point play in which, or foul three-point shot in which Gaku was able to hit one enough to get them to the final. I'd say tonight, he was the X factor. And he's been a problem for every team they've gone up against here in the AFROBASKET. Incredibly, they haven't struggled. Well, they've gone through certain struggles within particular games. South Sudan in the group stage, but they went the whole AFROBASKET undefeated.
Well, it certainly was not easy, and the margins are always so small. We saw it against South Sudan, we saw it against Cameroon, and having to come down to the final second of Capo Verde. That's what it takes to win a championship. You're going to face adversity. How you respond in those moments is so important. See here, Senegal probably wishing they would have been playing in this game.
Well, the Senegalese players, of course, in attendance because they won the bronze medal today. A very big victory for them against Cameroon. Senegal had their hearts broken by Mali yesterday. We're just about ready for the award ceremony.
And we will start by the individual trophy.
Well, the man introducing all the teams and players is also an AFROBASKET legend, Malik Daho, former member of the Cote d'Ivoire national team throughout the 80s and played a very successful career pro basketball in France.
Why are you not hitting them again? I want to see the message.
It's just a big moment for Angolan basketball coach because you got to think, a long time without winning. But Yang Aman, the foundation president, will be awarding the trophies to the teams.
That was 160.
And the team fair play.
Because it must have been tough for him because
Is
his home
Madagascar.
country, Mali, were in the final. He was very happy. I love that. I remember seeing him at the Under-17 World Cup in 2022 as well as the Under-19 in 2023. Of course, all the events and always makes that effort to go and watch Mali play.
Aman Yang, the former president of FIBA, not only Africa, but the entire world. We saw a lot of the top members of FIBA and the basketball world here to see this event. And what an outstanding tournament they were able to see.
Well, Madagascar getting the play award.
Point guard from Angola, and the trophy will be presented by Mr. Paulo Madeira, FIBA Africa Executive Member and Zone 6 President.
While further awards just being given out here at the 2025 FIBA AFROBASKET. Shode Dundal is being selected a part of the All-Tournament 5, All-Star 5, so I believe he is going to be the point guard. There, Paulo, Executive Committee, giving this award.
Point guard, best point guard.
Best point guard.
I think that's rightly deserved, Coach. I mean,
No, best point
being
guard.
the most
Good.
electrifying point guard here in the AFROBASKET, no doubt about it.
Well, no question.
South best
Well
point guard.
deserved, and I would expect him to receive the MVP as well. Paulo Madeira handing him that award there, former Angolan Federation president. A lot of former executives, players here in this building. You know how important it is for
On the
this
board
country.
from Senegal, and the trophy will be presented.
FIBA AFROBASKET 2025 Best All-Star 5 in selection. So now we're going to go with the shooting guard. This will be interesting because I don't know who's going to pick up this selection, Coach. There's been a lot of good shooting guards here at the AFROBASKET.
Well, I would expect somebody from Senegal, Badio or Boissy.
Yeah, I know.
It's going to go to Branco Badio, appointed by Faye Mathieu, Hall of Famer. Well, there you have it, Branco Badio of Senegal. The shooting guard role here in the tournament All-Star 5.
From Senegal.
You and I have had a lot of conversations about this prior to today, but we've disagreed on quite a few positions, but it makes you wonder, who's going to pick up that small forward role?
Well, I'm 2 for 2 on voting partners, so let's see what happens at the 3. I thought Koulibaly obviously struggled in this game here tonight, but in leading Mali to the finals, I think they have to have at least one representative. Possibly he could make this team here as a small forward selection.
Because he is a legend. Anywhere he goes in this country, this man, coach.
Absolutely. You see Koulibaly here.
Are you 3 out of 3 now?
3 out of 3.
Okay. And just see if you're about to be. You've called it. I'm not going to be surprised, but the amount awarding Jean-Jacques Conceição is regarded as the greatest center in the history of Angolan basketball. But a big congratulations to Mohamed Koulibaly. Last season playing in the Basketball Africa League with Stade Malien.
Really, struggled here tonight, but we saw him get hot, especially against Senegal. Really some big moments for him in this tournament, only 24 years old. I'm going with Missy here as my power forward.
Well, the next legend to come out is another Hall of Famer who will present the award, that is Romain Sato from the Central African Republic. Quite a few AFROBASKETs himself, had a very decorated professional career. We'll find out who's going to get the power forward role. Well, looks like it's going to go to Aliou Diarra.
Deserving as well. He had that one tremendous game. 30 points, 16 rebounds. Really one of the few efficient players here tonight. Solid first half, a little bit of a struggle there in the second, but great tournament for him.
Well, big congratulations to Aliou Diarra. He's been one of the more exciting talents at this field AFROBASKET. That leaves the center role. I think this will be very obvious considering the magnitude that this player has had, but could be wrong.
What do you got here, Josh?
Well, there's the president of the Basketball Africa League, Full Avenue Gallo. I'm going Bruno. I actually had him at my power forward, but I got one, coach. Got one. A big congratulations, Bruno Fernando. A lot of time in the NBA, but as mentioned, the last season playing in the Spanish Liga Endesa, the ACB with Real Madrid. And as we said, coach, to be considered in the debate, are you the greatest center? Are you up there with Jean-Jacques Conceição? You've got to win more AFROBASKETs. It's a different format now as it was to, the late 80s, 90s, early 2000s. It came every 2 years. Now it's every 4 years. But Bruno, along with Joseph Bango, Sylvia De Souza, Shirley Dundell, all those other players and company, next step, qualify for Doha, get to the World Cup. Because the AFROBASKET, as you said, coach, the most balanced continental competition of any of the FIBA continents.
Well, it certainly was this year. So many of these teams have improved, especially since 2015. My only time coaching in that tournament, so it's great to see these young teams, Mali and Guinea, teams that have not really had a lot of success on this stage, coming here with strong teams. It speaks volumes for basketball here on the continent.
We still have the most valuable player award to deliver out, as well as the team awards of the bronze medal, the silver medal, and the champions Angola.
With 63 rebounds, the best rebounder Aliou Diarra from Mali. Com
FIBA
63
Africa
no
Executive Committee
salto,
member and Zone 3
Aliou
President
Diarra do
Samuel
Mali.
supporting
Bravo Aliou,
Yeah.
félicitations.
MVP, I believe, but
Congratulations Aliou Diarra,
It's the best
best
rebounder
rebounder
award
of the
player
2025
with the most
FIBA
rebounds
AFROBASKET.
throughout the tournament. So,
Libera Aliou.
right here for
Congratulations.
Diarra.
I think the game against Cote d'Ivoire kind of signaled
now,
that he was the best rebounder.
The best
For sure, the performance he had was simply
shooter.
incredible, but
And the
sometimes he
trophy
has double-doubles, and even the first half hasn't even finished, but a lot of it comes down to the fact he is such a tough person to keep off the boards.
Well, he definitely is. We've seen him play the 4 and the 5 here in this tournament, and another young player to keep our eyes on.
África para apresentar o troféu ao melhor triplista da competição.
And the best three-point shooter of the 2025
Now we're awarding
FIBA
the best
AFROBASKET
three-point shooter.
from Senegal with 25 threes, Branco Bagno.
And Branco Badio picking up another award.
Branco
Was it Jean-Jacques
Bagno do
Bourdon? No, it's Badio, yeah.
com 25 triplos.
Well, a big
É o melhor
congratulations to Branco
triplista da
Badio making the
competição.
all-tournament selection. Since the road to qualify for the quarterfinals. I mean, his three-point shot was deadly. The only time he unfortunately couldn't really find that groove from the perimeter was in the semifinals against Mali, but I don't think that's a surprise to anyone, Coach.
No, an outstanding tournament for him, and his backcourt mate Wasi also tremendous here at this AFROBASKET. And both of those players just in their mid-20s, so bright future for Senegal.
And the best scorer, the best scorer. And the trophy will be presented by Mr. Jean-Michel Rabarosson, FIBA Africa Executive Committee member and
Well, more awards to be delivered.
Council President.
Chamar o senhor Jean-Michel, membro executivo da FIBA, para apresentar o
Now the
troféu
award by
ao
Ramosa
melhor
Jean-Michel,
marcador da
FIBA Africa
competição.
Executive Committee member and the NFS Council President.
From Senegal, Mr. Branco Bagno.
Well, Branco Badio is not going to have any room in the luggage, Coach. I'm telling you. I mean, is he going to take that on the carry-on, or it's not a short flight back to Senegal, but
Bruh.
even the home crowd showing their appreciation to Branco Badio.
Real.
Well, the 2025 FIBA AFROBASKET best scorer, a big congratulations to Branco Badio.
3-point.
Well,
Best
makes the
scorer.
whole tournament selection. Best three-point shooter, best scorer.
That's cool.
May need to pay for extra luggage room.
As you said, a lot of hardware there to go home with, and well deserved. He had a tremendous tournament, and
Guess who is the MVP? Guess who is the TISO MVP under 2025 FIBA AFROBASKET?
Well, now we're going to award the most valuable player award of the 2025 FIBA AFROBASKET.
Who?
Here is where it gets very interesting.
Who is the MVP?
There's been so many players. Some
Kiloma,
of
who
them
is the
even make it to the
MVP?
quarterfinals who could be in consideration.
Who is the MVP? And the trophy will be presented by Mr. Alphonse Mille, FIBA Africa Executive Director.
Well, the man that will be coming out to present the trophy is Alphonse Mille,
And the
the
TISO
man who won the AFROBASKET as both a player and a
FIBA
coach.
Africa
FIBA Africa's executive
AFROBASKET
director.
2025 from Angola, Chile.
You call it again, coach. No surprise. Mighty Mouse. Shilde Dudon, the 2025 FIBA AFROBASKET's most valuable player. A massive congratulations.
well, I think it's well deserved. So many big moments for this small player. Just fearless throughout this tournament. saw the huge three that he knocked down, that victory over Cameroon. And tonight, a little less needed from him, but still able to deliver 16 big points here in this championship game.
Well, he goes with two prime time trophies. Number one, the most valuable player award. But even more important, he'll go home with the 12th championship collectively with his Angolan teammates. A big congratulations. Because it's been a very short 2 years from when we were there in Manila when he was in the backcourt with Hirsch and Dominguez. But my word, he's come a long way, Coach.
Well, it really has. And again, we had him in training camp just to give him some experience. Really young at that stage, only 19 years old, but we could see the future in him. And it's so great to see him on this big stage delivering for his national team.
And Mr. Muniz da Silva, President of Angolan Basketball Federation.
Well, the individual awards have been awarded. And Amanda, you know quite well, Coach.
And the bronze medalist, third team of the 2025
Federation, LOC, organizing committee president, Ishal. The medals, the bronze medalists. Felt that after the quarterfinal matchup, some 6 FIBA AFROBASKET championships, and what I still find incredible, last 5 FIBA AFROBASKETs, they competed in the bronze medal game, and they won 4 now.
Well, that's a remarkable run, but obviously for them, they want to have a chance at that gold. A bit of frustrating finish there. Credit to Mali, knocking them off, and just gotta think Senegal is still a young roster. They've got that dynamic backcourt team that's gonna constantly be in the conversation for best here on the continent.
Young players such as Ibrahim Jallo, they'll be back. Great job, of course, from Dessa Ghana Diop. He'll be going back to the G League next season with the Westchester Knicks. But congratulations, the wow factor. Wasn't quite one of time in the semifinals, but the Senegalese Lions, your 2025 FIBA AFROBASKET bronze medalists. They played some exciting basketball, didn't they, Coach?
Well, they definitely did, and ran into some hardship there in group play. Tough loss to Egypt. First matchup against Mali was a bit of a struggle, but you thought they had found their rhythm. Maybe a little overconfident in that rematch against Mali. I'm sure it's a game they would love to have back.
Well, 40 points today from that man, Jean-Jacques Boissy. It'll be very interesting to see where he goes next season. Starting the year with Unani in Burundi. Secretary General. He's going to award the runners-up Mali. Mali's been a huge success story because they only won one game in the group stage. It was like it was a dream run. Maybe had they met Cameroon, maybe had they met Senegal. Well, of course, they defeated Senegal in the semis, but you never know. And of course, even Cameroon in the game, it was much closer. It went right down to the wire where a free throw had to be made to knock them out. But I just love the balance, the competitive nature, the physicality, the quick tempo of the AFROBASKET, Coach.
Well, this young team, I'm sure this is not the last hardware that they're going to pick up at these tournaments. Most of these players just 23, 24 years old, all of them having gained valuable experience here at this AFROBASKET tournament.
Well, 60 years, over 60 years since they first played in an AFROBASKET. It just took a decade to stand on the podium in 1972. but they made history, Mali, making it to their first ever final of the FIBA AFROBASKET. I know this is growing pains for them. Learning lessons, building for the future. Like Senegal, like Cameroon, and like Angola, next up is the journey to qualify for the 2027 FIBA Basketball World Cup. Depending how far they go, it could be 3 windows or it could be 6. But for sure, we have seen a country that is going to be in business in years to come. Definitely the next AFROBASKET.
No question about that. And as you just stated, the next step for this group is going to be qualifying for the World Cup. Opportunity to play on another big stage with the men's team. And I would expect we see them right up there with the giants of the continent here.
There you have it. The 2025 FIBA AFROBASKET runners-up. The silver medalist Mali and El Hadji Dicko just defied the odds. Many people counted them out in the qualification road to the quarterfinals, around the 16, whatever you like to call it. Well, the Malian players will now leave, and now it's time, indeed, to introduce your champions, Angola. All you have to do is come to this country. Lived it. This is my first time coming here. What an experience. It's a beautiful country. The people are magnificent. And you said it, Coach. Whether you go in town or whether you're at the hotel or here in the arena, the basketball IQ, the passion, it's up there.
Well, they love their basketball in this country, and as you stated, they also know their basketball. They understand when to try to spur their team on. They appreciate the great plays that are made. And what a run here for this Angola national team. You had to think coming in that likely were the favorites for the tournament, but still had to pull out several very close wins. Last second victories against Cabo Verde and Cameroon. You saw it also against South Sudan, but really a team of destiny here at this tournament.
The gold medalists now getting ready to stand on the podium. FIBA President Sheikh Saoud Amtani Ali will be awarding the gold medals to Angola. Mr. Peter de Andrade Ruiz. Mr. Manab Anibal, the FIBA Africa's president. Because every continent you have one country where basketball is the main passion. In Asia, the #1 sport for basketball, the #1 country where basketball's #1, that's obviously going to be the Philippines. In Europe, well, it's up for debate, but definitely where basketball takes priority over any sport would be Lithuania. Goes to the Americans, that's really up for debate. But here in Africa, you said it, this is a basketball country, a basketball nation. There's history that you can look back on, and still now, history is being made. I said it already, these players, stories for their children and their grandchildren. They're building history and making it even greater.
Oh, absolutely. Basketball reigns supreme here in Angola. These fans will remember all these players as a part of this AFROBASKET championship team. We heard the conversations throughout this tournament, people discussing who were the greatest Angolan players of all time. And to be in the discussion, you have to have won one of these tournaments. So several of these young players now adding their name to the history books, and we'll have to see how their careers progress, whether or not there'll be multiple titles for Angola, but 10 long years without being on the podium. So special moment here for Pep Klaros and his team.
Of course, this country just gaining its independence 50 years ago. What a time to win a championship. What a time to bring the accolades. Of course, it was in the 70s where basketball really started to pick up in Angola. Throughout the 80s, of course, they were able to make it to 2 FIBA AFROBASKET championships. Of course, coming second place on both occasions. But then, it was 1989. Angola becoming the new team on the block, winning that football. Now we'll stand for the national anthem. Just a slight delay here, we do apologize, but as mentioned, the Angolans getting ready to receive their trophy in just a few moments. Going back to what I was saying though, Coach, winning that first ever AFROBASKET back in 1989, and then throughout the 90s, the early 2000s, always winning this competition, which back then, this competition was a qualifier to either a FIBA Basketball World Cup or a direct qualifier to the Olympics. And they were always the #1 African basketball team, and it's great to see them, after a long decade, finally bringing back the championship.
Ladies and gentlemen,
No question about that. As you said, this tournament used to have a lot of pressure riding on it. Your qualification for the Olympics or World Cup depended on how you perform here. Obviously, with the World Cup qualification games now, different process, but you see the president of the country now coming out here.
He's going to be a part of the celebrations, and it's their time, their moments. Of course, history is a story, it's a book, and sometimes you can add chapters to it, and that's exactly what this group of players have done. Quite a while, you know, for those of us who are regularly obsessed with the international game, we've always known they've been still up there. Just the competition level has been so great. You know, when you were with Nigeria, Tunisia, South Sudan, and others that came into this competition with high expectations, but they've done it. They're back again, kings of Africa, kings of the FIBA AFROBASKET.
Well, there you see the president of Angola affectionately referred to as J-Lo, not the American singer, but he himself also a basketball fan, and of course proud of his national team and what they've done here in this tournament.
Well, it's always a magnificent time when, you know, whether it's the men's, the women's, win a continental championship, a World Cup, or Olympics, to always be embraced by the person who holds the seat in the highest office in any country. And a beautiful moment here for Angolan basketball, and of course, for the history of this magnificent country.
Well, no question about that. Special moment here for these players that they're always going to remember.
Well, we still have the championship trophy to deliver. Well, it's even got a smile on Pep Claros. That's how great occasion it is, Coach.
Well, he can relax now. Nice job of leading his team throughout this tournament. It really has established an identity of how they want to play. You know, all 12 players seeing time on the court, going with those big lineups. So it's certainly unorthodox, but it has delivered results here at this tournament.
Well, the Angolan fans, probably they'll be partying right until the early hours of the tomorrow morning. And why not? They've waited a long time.
Forever.
Maybe we'll get some lives on the players' IGs and they'll celebrate this moment for sure, but truly a magnificent moment here for Angolan basketball and also for the FIBA AFROBASKET. It's been a magnificent atmosphere.
Well, absolutely. Angola, obviously I'm a little biased, but outstanding hosts of this tournament. We saw the fans turning out, sellout arenas, and this has been a great tournament here. We expect as we move forward more and more competitive AfroBasket tournaments, but certainly 2025, one that we can remember as one of the most balanced AfroBaskets we've seen.
Chris, I would have been very interested because you always embrace your former players. But I wonder who you would have been rooted for had it been Nigeria versus Angola in the final. That would have been tough. You'd probably be expecting the never-ending overtime.
For sure I would. Proud of Nigeria, what they've done. Obviously was not their night against Senegal, but we saw flashes of brilliance from them as well. And so many teams coming to this tournament and really showing they can play basketball at the highest of levels.
Well, the players, coaches, and the president of Angola just waiting to receive the trophy, the 31st championship trophy of this magnificent continental competition, the FIBA AfroBasket. Kenny, just standing there. Now we'll stand for the national anthem. National anthem of Angola has been sung. Now the players get ready. Well, basketball fans, they won their last AfroBasket 12 years later. And today here in 2025, Angola win their 12th FIBA AfroBasket. A big congratulations to this federation, this country, this group of players as they'll embrace us with the country's presidents. The winningest team in the history of the FIBA AfroBasket. Angola have done it. There's only one final thing that can be said about this team. As Luke Kenny getting ready, the celebrations, the cheers, almost getting ready now. One final thing that will be said about Angola. They came in the group stage. They went undefeated. They went through the quarterfinals, taking on Cabo Verde, Ivan Almeida and his brother Joel and Eddie Tavares. In the semis, it was a tough matchup against Alfred Aboya's Cameroon. And they came in and they won in dominant fashion.
Well, they really did, no question. In this game, you saw them jump out to the early lead, never look back. Being Kenny, the captain of this team, and his progression, what a moment for him and his teammates.
Well, a big congratulations Adding to the trophy cabinet here in this beautiful country, another FIBA AFROBASKET
one second, please,
championship.
one third,
12
please.
long years they waited, and they waited 12 years for championship number 12. They remain the winningest team in the history of the FIBA AFROBASKET. And there you have it. For Angola, the 2025 FIBA AFROBASKET champions. Bukeni with the trophy in his hands, celebrating with his teammates. Well, what a moment in the history of this competition. Champions, 2025 FIBA AFROBASKET champions. Well, the story was not much was known about Angola. Well, there's a lot of history to know, and that history is still being written.
Well, absolutely. This team came in here as one of the favorites, and they delivered. It wasn't easy. Had to gut out some very close victories there in the group stage, both the quarterfinals and semifinals. But here in the final game, no doubt whatsoever.
Oh, truly a magical moment. 2021 FIBA AFROBASKET in Kigali, Rwanda. That was a tough time for a lot of teams, a lot of countries in the midst of the global pandemic. But since then, they built from beneath. They gave the young players a run. World Cup, FIBA OQT, and now we're here with a championship. Coach, it's been an absolute honor to call this AFROBASKET alongside you. Any final thoughts from you, though?
Well, what a magical tournament it's been. And we've talked about it a lot, just the emergence of some of these younger teams who traditionally have not had as much success here. I think it's really a statement of what they're able to build here in Africa, and the future is bright.
Well, the next FIBA AFROBASKET will be in 4 years' time. For now, all these teams who came here, the next step, Windows 2027 FIBA World Cup qualifiers. Well, fans, from myself, Josh Bett, and head coach Will Voigt, we thank you for joining us here in Angola for the AFROBASKET. Congratulations to Angola. But from now, it's good night, goodbye, and God bless.